Hi guys, it's Ben Heath from Lead Guru, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create your first Instagram ad campaign. So if you're brand new to Instagram advertising, you haven't run an ad campaign before, or perhaps you have and it hasn't really worked out and you want to know, okay, how should I go about creating Instagram ad campaigns properly? That's what this video is going to show you how to do. Now, before I get into the steps and show you exactly how to do this, I just want to quickly mention that at the end of this video, I'm going to be talking about a free Instagram advertising resource that I think you're going to find very, very useful, very interesting. So make sure you stick around to the end of the video for that. Okay, so the first thing that you need to sort of realize when you're creating Instagram ads and Instagram ad campaigns is that yes, you can do so from within the Instagram app, but it's much better to create Instagram ad campaigns from within Facebook's Ads Manager platform. Now, you may or may not be aware that Facebook owns Instagram, and the same advertising platform is used across both Facebook and Instagram. So most businesses that advertise on either Facebook or Instagram are probably going to advertise on both platforms, and it's very, very easy to do so. I'm going to explain exactly how that works as we go through this, but that's where I am right now. I'm inside an example Facebook ad account in Facebook's Ads Manager, and this is where I would recommend you create your Instagram ads and your Instagram ad campaigns, because this is where you have the most functionality and the most options available to you to be able to make the most sophisticated and the best performing Instagram ad campaigns possible, okay? So even if you're just interested in advertising on Instagram, not on Facebook as well, make sure you set up a Facebook ad account, make sure you link your Facebook account and your Instagram profile together so that you can run ads through Facebook Ads Manager, because that is likely to deliver the best results possible. Now, if you're wondering how do I go about creating a Facebook ad account, business manager account, all that sort of stuff, if you haven't done that already, I'll include a link to the video description below to another video where I show you exactly how to create a Facebook business manager account, how to add an Instagram profile to that, and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so if you're wondering how do I set this up technically to get to this spot, go ahead and check out this video first and then come back and watch this one. Just once you have set up a business manager account, to get into Facebook's Ads Manager, all you need to do is go into your Facebook profile, and there'll be a little black arrow on the right hand side, top right. Click on that, and then in that drop down menu that appears, you'll see various options. One of those will be create ads, create adverts, manage ads, or manage adverts. If you click on that link, it'll take you through to a page that looks exactly like what we've got in front of us, or at least similar to what we've got in front of us. Facebook updates this all the time. So if you're watching this, a little bit later down the line, it might look slightly different. But that's how you get here, and here, Facebook's Ads Manager is where you should be creating your Instagram ads and your Instagram ad campaigns. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Now, with that said, let's go ahead and get into it. So you want to come over to this left-hand side and click Create, and I'm just going to call this Example Instagram ad campaign. Now, I'd recommend you name your campaign something that's going to mean something to you later down the line, because if you go ahead and create a lot of different campaigns, you're going to want to be able to differentiate between them very easily. Okay, so just name it something that's meaningful. Maybe the product you're advertising, for example. Okay, now when you create an Instagram ad campaign, there are three different levels, okay? There's the campaign level, there's the ad set level, and then there's the ad level. So I'm gonna go through each tier in order, starting with the campaign level. So give your campaign a name. Special ad categories is a whole nother thing. There are videos on that, so go ahead and check those out. If you're in credit, employment, housing, you would need to know the rules around that before advertising. Leave buying type as auction, but just for the purpose of this video, I'm going to assume you're not in a special ad category, because that's going to be the vast majority of people watching this. Leave the buying type as auction, and then with the campaign objective, you don't really want to leave it as traffic, which is the default. I would recommend that the vast majority of people go ahead and select conversions. Now, when you're selecting a campaign objective, you're basically saying to Facebook, this is what I want from my Instagram ad campaign. So if you say to Facebook, you want traffic, Facebook is going to put your ads on Instagram in front of people that are most likely to click, but not necessarily people that are most likely to go on to either purchase or become a lead, which is probably what you're really looking for when you're running an Instagram ad campaign. You're probably not just looking for traffic for the sake of it. You probably want those people to, convert into purchasers, convert into leads, take some sort of action, okay? So to do that, you want to select conversions. Then you want to make sure that you've got the Facebook pixel installed on your website or wherever it is that you're sending people. Again, this is an Instagram ad campaign, but the tracking is done through the Facebook pixel. And if you don't know how to do that, I've got another video that shows you exactly how to set up the Facebook pixel and all that sort of stuff. So again, a link to that will be in the video description. So check that out if this is new to you. And then you basically set up some event codes. So you basically say to Facebook, look, when someone purchases, this is what that looks like on my website. They reach an order confirmation page, something on those lines. Register that as a purchase in my ad account. And then I want you, Facebook, as an ad platform to optimize for that event. As in, once you know what a purchase is, when someone sees my Instagram ad, they click on it, go through to the website and purchase, Facebook will know what that is, and they can then optimize your campaign to get you more of those. So for example, Facebook might work out that it's better to display your ads at 6 p.m. because that's when people are most likely to click on your Instagram ad and go and purchase. They may work out that, you better get better conversions in certain placements or to different types of people, all sorts of various things they can use to optimize the campaign. So the campaign objective is very, very, very important. And I'd strongly recommend use conversions, even if you're just getting started. To do that, you need to make sure that you have the Facebook pixel installed on your website or wherever it is that you're sending people, okay? Campaign budget optimization is automatically now switched on. I would recommend leaving it on. It's a bit more of an advanced thing to talk about CBO, campaign budget optimization, versus ABO, ad set budget optimization. So I'm not going to get into that in this video. Again, I'll include another link in the video description to another video where I talk about that if you want to dive more into this and be a bit more detailed. There's going to be lots of links in the video description, guys, by the way, just to help you with all the various resources that I've put together. Campaign budget, I much prefer to select daily budgets instead of lifetime budgets, so we're going to leave that as daily budget. Daily budgets give you more consistency and make it easier to scale campaigns because you're not starting and ending campaigns all the time. And then budget, what do you spend? Okay, so I've got, again, other videos around starting budgets, how to calculate those, so check those out if you're interested. In general, I'd recommend starting with something that you can afford and you can comfortably afford. The beginning of an Instagram ad campaign, when you first start advertising on the platform, should be about testing, experimentation. It should be about trying to work out how it's going to work for you. Now, that testing and experimentation might mean that you don't deliver fantastic results right away. Perhaps your campaigns aren't quite profitable during the first month, and that's absolutely fine. That's just part of the learning process. That's like anything you do in life. It's a skill that needs to be developed. You need a bit of practice before you're going to be up and running and delivering great results. So don't go and spend your entire year's marketing budget in the first month, for example. Okay, so set that at something you can afford. That's going to massively vary between businesses. Right, and then I'm just going to create the ad set here. So let's just call this example ad set, and let's call this example ad. Okay, and then we're going to click save to draft. So we've now handled the campaign level. We've already discussed the various options. So this has brought us, what we can see right now is the campaign level of our example Instagram ad campaign. And you can see we've got conversion selected, auction, CBO, all the stuff I just discussed, okay? Nothing we need to worry about here. Then you can come up here and click on one ad set. And now we get to the ad set level. Now the ad set level basically, well, there's a whole bunch of things the ad set level does, but it really dictates two massive components of Instagram advertising, and that's where on Instagram you're going to advertise, as in the placements, so delivery, and targeting, who you're going to be advertising to, okay? So let's scroll down and go through this. I'm going to talk through some of the various options here. So conversion event location, where are you sending people? Are you sending them to Facebook Messenger, to WhatsApp, to your website? Most people it's going to be your website. So you probably want to get started with just that as a nice easy option. So go ahead and click website. Conversion event. Now this will make a lot more sense once you've installed the Facebook pixel, but you need to select a conversion event as in purchase or lead or whatever it is that you want people to do on your website. You need to tell Facebook, this is what I want. And then with the Facebook pixel, you explain what you want is. I hope that makes sense. So as in, if someone reaches the order confirmation page for my Facebook advertising course, that is a purchase, Facebook. So please go out and get me more purchases when I'm advertising. Something along those lines. Hopefully that makes sense. But that'll make more sense if you're not familiar when you install the Facebook pixel. So check out that video for more details. You just need to go in and select one of the various options. This is an example ad account, so we're going to see all sorts of error messages, by the way, when we create this campaign. Don't worry about those. You shouldn't see those when you create yours. But let's say, for example, I wanted leads, okay? Something fairly simple. Dynamic creative offers, they're more advanced techniques for your first Instagram ad campaign. Ignore those, don't worry about it. Okay, budget and schedule, you can set an end date if you want. I probably recommend leaving it off. And the reason why I'd recommend not selecting an end date is because I think Instagram ad campaigns should be fairly responsive to the data that you see. If you're generating great results, why not keep running it? If you're not, then you want to be pausing it. You don't just want to leave it running indefinitely. So I would recommend, particularly when you're getting started with Instagram advertising, to come into your ad account, check the results, make adjustments, etc. on a regular basis, and just be aware of how things are going, and so you can manually make the adjustments that you need to make. Okay. Right, and of course, just quickly here, you can set an ad set spend limit if you want. So you can say to Facebook, look, I do not want you to spend more than $500 on this campaign. Provided you have one ad set, you can set that at the ad set level. You can even set them at the campaign level, just for peace of mind. Custom audiences, again, that's more of an advanced feature, not something I'd recommend beginners get started with. If you want to know more about that, again, another link in the video description to a video all about custom audiences, how to create them, how to use them, how to get fantastic results. But I would not worry about that for now. And then we get into sort of the fairly basic targeting options that you should be adjusting and selecting depending on your business. So obviously the first thing to select is your location. Where do you want to advertise? Now, you probably already have an idea of where you want to advertise. So for, I'm based in the UK. If I wanted to advertise to the whole country, I would select United Kingdom, as is the default. For a lot of companies, like mine, where we can work internationally, we have clients in lots of different countries. We might start by targeting the UK, the US, Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, etc., English-speaking countries. Perhaps you operate on a local basis. So if I go in and click edit and I get rid of United Kingdom, I, for example, am currently living in a little town called Cirencester in West England. So I could go ahead and add in the specific location where I'm advertising and then set my radius targeting parameters here. So do I want it to be within 25 miles? Is that my area of operation? Do I not travel that far? Perhaps I want it to be, 14 miles in that case. You can adjust this to wherever it is that you're going to advertise. Now, what I would say in terms of your location targeting is don't artificially constrain yourself. So if you can advertise to the whole country, don't just pick, New York because you think that's where your best results are going to come from. Facebook is smart enough as an advertising platform to know which people are most likely to, convert, etc. So you can select the whole of the country, and if you only really want to be advertising to people in New York, LA, some other big cities on Instagram because you think that's where your best results are from, if that's true, Facebook will work that out and they will primarily serve your ads to people in those locations, even if you select the whole of the US, okay? So if you're not geographically constrained, larger audiences are better where possible. But lots of people start with, local businesses and things like that. So I'm going to leave that there for now. Age parameters. Don't overthink this. Go with the age range where the majority of your prospects are likely to come from. So if I was assessing, my business, for example, as a Facebook and Instagram advertising agency, I would say that most of our clients are at least 25 years old, usually 30 plus, but we could go with 25. And to be honest, there's not really an upper age range. I'd probably say that most of them are probably under 60, maybe under 55 is our age range, but something like that. This doesn't have to be super accurate. Just, you just want to put in some parameters here. Some businesses, if I was advertising a dentist, I'm just going to leave it 18 plus. I mean, everyone 18 plus needs a dentist, right? So you don't need to get too specific. If in doubt, have a larger range than a smaller one. I wouldn't really want to put in just 35 to 40. That's probably quite narrow. Again, Facebook's going to be able to work out who is most likely to purchase, become a lead, etc. So if you give them more range, they can find more Instagram profiles with which to put your ads in front of people and get great results, okay? Then we get down to genders. If you have both male and female customers, I'd go with all. If you are very heavily weighted one way, let's say 80+% one way, then I'd probably just start with either male or female, depending on which way it goes for your business, okay? I'm gonna leave that as all for now. And then detailed targeting. So we wanna click in here and click edit. And this is where you enter in other demographic information, interests, behaviors, etc. So when you're just getting started with Instagram advertising, I would just enter something that is representative of your customers. So let's say us again, using us as an example, as a Facebook and Instagram advertising agency, I might want to put in something like business page admins. Okay, so this is a behavior, and this is people who are admins of a business page on Facebook. Okay, that's going to be a pretty good targeting option for us. Now there are all sorts of other things. You know, if I was selling something in the tennis space, one ends or two ends? Two ends. I always get that wrong. You know, I could just start with tennis. All sorts of various options depending on what it is you're looking to advertise. Now, one thing to keep in mind when you're selecting your targeting options is this potential reach on the right-hand side, okay? So this currently has 340,000 people. I've created another video all about audience size, so check that out. I'll include, again, another link in the video description. But in general, I don't like to advertise to audiences less than 250,000. Therefore, if I was to overly narrow this, and let's say I just wanted to advertise to people 25 to, 30, that's going to make my audience far too small. So when you are adding in these targeting parameters, location, age, gender, interests, etc., just be wary of making your audience too small, and you'll be able to see that potential reach on the right-hand side. Okay. If in doubt, larger audiences are better when it comes to Instagram advertising. This little option here, detailed targeting expansion, not something you really need to worry about as a beginner advertiser, but I would just leave it ticked, which is now the default when you're creating an Instagram ad campaign. You can add in language information, so perhaps you're in a country where there are multiple speakers. If you're advertising to Canada, perhaps you only want to work with French speakers, for example. I don't know why you would, but maybe that's how your business works. Well, then you can go ahead and add in specific languages if you want, okay? And there are loads more things you can do targeting-wise, where you can get very complicated, very sophisticated, but for your first Instagram ad campaign, which is what this video is all about, that's what I'd go with. I'd keep it very nice and simple and get started. You can always make other adjustments. I've got lots of videos on targeting. Check out my YouTube channel for all that sort of stuff that goes into a lot more detail, but that's fine for now. Okay, placements is the next option. So placements refers to the locations on Facebook, Instagram, and other stuff I'll show you in a second, where your ads can be displayed. So when most people run a conversions campaign, I would recommend using automatic placements. But the title of this video is your first Instagram ad campaign, and this is all about Instagram advertising. Therefore, you would want to come in and select manual placements, and you'd want to deselect Messenger, Audience Network, and Facebook, and you are just left with the Instagram placements. If you just wanted to run a campaign on Instagram, this is how you would do it. Okay. Now, when we scroll down, you'll see that there are all these various placement options, and they're categorized by type. So we've got feeds, stories, etc., all the options that we've deselected up top, messages, all that sort of stuff. Now on Instagram, there are 3 placement options. There's Instagram feed, Instagram stories, which are the 2 main ones, and there's also Instagram Explore, which you're unlikely to get much traction on. If you're getting started, I'd recommend advertising to all 3. What you'll find most likely is that, let's say 65% of your impressions come via the Instagram feed. Most of the rest comes from Instagram stories. Instagram Explore is likely to do very little in my experience, okay? If later down the line you wanted to just run a stories ad, for example, or just run ads in the Instagram feed, well, then you could deselect the other ones and do so. Fairly straightforward to get that set up. Okay. Don't worry about any error messages, things pop up, you can go down here. Optimization and ad delivery, cost controls, etc. Leave all as default. You want to optimize for conversions, we've already discussed that. You don't need a cost control when you're first getting started, and that is the ad set level, okay? Fairly straightforward to set up. Okay, and that's the ad level. So there are much more complicated things you can do around targeting and all that sort of stuff. And as you get more experience, that might be something that you want to explore. I've got loads of videos on that, so check those out. Things like custom audiences, lookalike audiences, etc. But I think keeping it simple to get started, to help you understand the process, is the most important thing when you're creating your first Instagram advertising campaign. So remember the 3 levels. We've got the ad campaign level, the ad set level, and now the ad level. So the ad level is the 3rd and final level. Now, when it comes to creating your ads, I like to keep things very, very simple to get started with, just as we've been doing before. So take whatever it is that you offer, product, service, something along those lines. Think about the sort of offer that you could use. An introductory offer with Instagram advertising is so important. How are you going to incentivize people to come in through the door, to pick up the phone, to buy? Is it with a discount? Is it with a free consultation before they sign on for your services? Have a really good think about these things and focus your ad around them. Now, on the left-hand side, you can see you've got primary text, website URL, display link, call to action, etc., and then of course the media itself. Now, I'm not going to show you exactly how to create, lots of different Instagram ads in this video. Instead, I'm going to include another link in the video description to a video where I've got a whole bunch of ads and I'm demonstrating and showing you how to create and showing you why they perform very well. So make sure you check that out. But what I do want to quickly do is just show you very quickly how this process works. So to add in an image, you want to click on add media. You've got add image, add video. And then you may have account images, it's just loading up now, but there's this stock photos button on the bottom, which is very interesting. And basically, Facebook have teamed up with Shutterstock, which means that you can use Shutterstock's images in your Facebook and Instagram ad campaigns completely for free. Okay, you don't have to pay for them, which is absolutely fantastic. And if you're just getting started and you don't have a lot of imagery and things like that, using the stock photos option is a very easy and quick way to do it. So let's say, for example, that this image we thought was going to perform very well for us and would work very nicely. We could select it, or of course you could come up in here and search for things related to your business and find various options. But once you found one, select it, go ahead and click continue. And then we've added in this image, and it's going to take a second to load, but what you will find is that you can see on this right-hand side a preview of how your ad will look. So as you're building it with the various elements, things like primary text, so you put test text in here, you can see exactly how that looks on the various placement options on the right-hand side. So here we've got Instagram feed. You can see these options here. That's how it looks in Instagram feed. Right now it looks like this in Instagram stories. Okay, scroll down so you can see that a little bit. So obviously you're going to want to mess around with this. This ad isn't going to look very good, but it's a really useful tool to be able to make sure that what you are going to be advertising and putting in front of your prospects is something that you'd be happy to advertise your business, display your products and services, and all that sort of stuff. Obviously, website URL, make sure you include a link to the page you want to send people. That's something that sometimes people miss out, and Facebook will give you a little error message. As I said, for the ad specifics in terms of what you should include in copy, call to action buttons, imagery, check out a video that I'll link to in this video's description that's all about, it gives you 6 different successful ads that you can model from, breaks them down, shows you all the component parts. I'd strongly recommend you check that out because I think that will be very helpful in terms of ad creative and how you put ads together that can deliver fantastic results. Not something I want to get into in this video. Okay, hopefully that's been useful. Now, at the beginning of this video, I talked about a free Instagram advertising resource that I think you're going to find very interesting, and that's a free webinar called 3 Killer Facebook Advertising Strategies to Double or More Your Revenue. And the title has Facebook advertising strategies, but it applies to Instagram as well. As I said, we advertise on both platforms. And in this webinar, I basically break down 3 different sales funnels that you can use with your Instagram ad campaigns. And I sort of talk about which sales funnel works for which type of business, so you can customize it specifically for your industry, which is very important. And I also demonstrate in a lot of detail exactly how these work. These strategies are all very much tried and tested. We've generated more than $1 million with each multiple times with our clients using these sales funnels in ad campaigns, very much proven. So yeah, I'd strongly recommend you check out this webinar. It's completely free. There'll be another link in the video description. Lots and lots of links in this video for you guys. So check that out. About 70 minutes long. I think you're going to find it really valuable, really helpful. So as I said, yeah, make sure you go through that and check that out. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Really helps me out when you give my videos a thumbs up. Please comment below to let me know if you've got any questions. Pop them in the comments below. Happy to field questions. Share the video, tell a friend. That's always appreciated. And of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now I'm releasing Facebook advertising, Instagram advertising, SEO related content multiple times per week. And if that's the sort of thing you're into, you want to get great results in this space, I think my content can really help you out. So make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications when you do so you're notified when I publish a new video. Best of luck with your Instagram ad campaigns, guys. I really hope it works out well for you. If this is the start of your journey, then I think there are some really exciting things to look forward to in the future. Instagram, like Facebook, is a fantastic advertising platform. You can generate amazing results, life-changing campaigns. So yeah, hopefully that's what is in store for you. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.